Hi, I'm Chris Lubkemann. I've been working with wood and a pocket knife, whittling, for a long time, and been doing some books too over the years. Before I met Fox Chapel, I did 3 books, and 5 of my books are out with Fox Chapel, and they cover all kinds of things that you can do with a pocket knife and tree branches. Right now, what I'm going to do is show you what to do with curls and wood. One of the neat things about carving twigs and branches especially is the curls that you can make. You can do so many fun things with making the wood curl. You're not really slicing it. I don't know if you're shaving it, but you're cutting it in such a way that it curls. And there are 3 different kinds of curls. The rooster tail curl, which is an across stroke. The flower curl, which is a down stroke. There's the Christmas tree curl, which is an upstroke. So what we'll be doing is showing what you can do with curls and a little piece of wood and a sharp knife, and then you can apply that same technique to a bunch of other projects. There's several kinds of curl strokes. The one I'm going to do right now is the rooster tail, and this is a practice branch. It's not connected to the already carved rooster body, but I often tell people practice on a straight branch before you do the rooster, so you don't mess it up. And what I'm going to do, I have a shoelace around my left knee. I'm right-handed. Work on your left knee if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, work on your right knee. And the reason you do that is it's a much more comfortable position. If I tried to work on my right knee, I'd be all hunched up on the right side. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little piece of felt underneath the shoelace. Now I don't do this myself usually, but when I do my classes and have people who haven't had a lot of experience, I often will give them a piece of felt to put there to protect their knees. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do short, repeated forward slicing motions. Those are very critical words. It's a short motion, it's repeated, and it's forward slicing. But first let me show you the wrong way to do it, because this is what most people do. Most people, they dig in like this to get it started, and then they press down. They dig in and they lose it. They dig in, and the feathers are too thick. They don't really curl that much. So let's do it the right way now. And I kind of stumbled on this by accident, how to make this work, and it's been what I've been doing for close to 50 years now. I'm pressing back, but not in, and I go forward, stop, bring it back, forward, stop, bring it back, forward, stop, bring it back. It might take me 7 or 8 times forward to get the feather. Now a little bit higher. Forward, 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 forward. A little bit higher yet. Forward, 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 across, across, down. Forward, forward, forward. You want to see how tightly I'm holding my knife? Look at my thumb. So you want to hold your knife really, really tightly. There. Now when you have the rooster body here holding on to the string, it makes it a lot easier than with this straight stick. But this will just give you the idea. Okay. And this is something I discovered. If your blade is at a perfect plus sign here, like it's a perfect T, the feather will curl straight over. Now, if you have your knife at an angle like this, the feather will go that way. If you have your knife at an angle like this, the feather will go that way. Now, if you really want to have a fun, funky rooster, just go that way, down the middle, that way, down the middle. So the angle of your knife blade determines which way that feather will curl. If you keep it perfectly across, it'll curl straight over. If you have it slanted point down, it'll curl this way. If you have point up, it'll curl that way. And you can make some very interesting rooster tails by just varying the cuts. Alright, now we're going to do a flower. The petals, stem, and 2 leaves. I took a little piece of birch in this case, debarked it. Let's get all the bark off here. Have it relatively smooth. And this is a different curl stroke. The rooster tail was across, 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 across. And every time I went across, I just dropped down a little bit. Now the flower is a totally different stroke. It's a down, down, down stroke. And I'll be going down and then twisting the wood after each down stroke. Okay, so here we go. Down, down, down. If you start out with a little teeny weeny branch, you can make a miniature flower. This is I don't know, probably the size of a small daisy. If you have a bigger branch, of course, you can do bigger flowers. Now I'm going around again. The drier the branch is, the more spread out the petals will be. So this branch is a little bit damp yet, but what I'll do is I'll sort of squish it when I'm done, and that'll press it open. Okay, then twist out the little core. Now I'm just going to press it right like that. Alright, and we'll just thin the stem down a little bit. And make a leaf there, and a leaf there, and then you cut it off. If you want a long stem flower, of course, leave the stem long. Okay, so that's just a simple twig flower. If you want to do much smaller ones, just get very, very 1/8 inch thick or even 1/16 inch thick pieces of wood, and you can make much, much smaller ones. Okay, now this is going to be a little pine tree, a little evergreen tree. I start out the same as I would with the flower. I debark the branch. But with the tree, I have to bring it to a point. So when I was a kid down in the jungles of Peru, this is how we used to sharpen pencils with a knife. I don't even know if we had pencil sharpeners down there. But anyway, get a nice point. And now remember, the rooster tail was across, across, across. The flower was down, down, down. And the Christmas tree, or the little pine tree, is up, up, up. And I'm going to be working kind of an isometric exercise, this hand against this hand here, because I always want to have a break on, because if I just freehand with my right hand, I'll end up chopping something off that I don't want to chop off. So, okay, here we go. There's one little curl. Turn it. Another one. And every one gets progressively longer. Each little branch is just microscopically longer than the preceding one. Alright, that one's a little weak. Let's take that one off. Make another one in its place. There, this will probably be the last one. There, now let's tweak these a little bit. There, now see how it spirals a little? So we've done a bunch of things with curls. And okay, we did a rooster. We didn't show you how to do this, but here's the curl on the tail of a heron. There is a slight curl on the tail of a roadrunner, the kind that goes beep beep and gets chased around by the coyote. We've done flowers and trees. Let's see, where is it? Here's a tree. We've done trees, flowers, but there are lots of other things that you can do with curls. Now this is a Dr. Seuss type critter, and I've done several different kinds of curls with this one. These little curls on his double top knot here are like flowers, and the one right in the middle of his top knot, that's like a flower. The one underneath his neck, that would be like a Christmas tree stroke, upstroke. And then the tail feathers are basically like I do the rooster tail, but I've sort of spread them out a little bit. So you can have all kinds of fun making funky critters like that. So much for curls, and we hope you'll give them a try. And if they don't come out perfect at first, don't worry about it. By the way, the first rooster I made back in 1966 looked like it got in a fight and lost. But it didn't look like a duck. It didn't look like a skunk. It looked like a rooster that got in a fight and lost. So things do get better. So give it a try, keep going, and remember, keep your knife sharp.